Well, we are here in Beverly Park for our annual tradition of catching up with the beautiful people. But we're here honoring Memorial Day, and Jeremy Moss is with us now. Jeremy, what's going on in lawmaking lately?
Yeah, I'm starting my second term in the state senate back in Beverly Hills. It wasn't in my first district, but I'm back. And really glad to see a lot of people that I've had meaningful connections with over the years. And we're working hard in Lansing and trying to move forward an agenda that protects folks and their economic security, their rights, their safety. And so very excited to be getting forward and doing that work.
Good. Well, we're glad to have you doing it for us. Now, one of the nice things about Memorial Day, I think you'll agree, is it's kind of an apolitical event. We're all Americans today. What does Memorial Day mean to you personally?
I think about those who made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can gather, not only here in the park, but have a democracy that functions up in Lansing and throughout the country. And I've represented a lot of communities in the different districts that I've had, but Beverly Hills stands out as a community that is very intentional on this day of making sure it's honored for the right reasons. We obviously have kind of a carnival and barbecue going on behind us, but we're going to have a ceremony here to honor the fallen and to respect those who have served our country. Not a lot of communities do that. Not a lot of communities put that urgency on marking the holiday in that way. So Beverly Hills has a lot to be proud about for this holiday. And
I certainly, I absolutely agree with you. This is our 40th anniversary of the parade and coming into the park, and the kids have fun. We were blessed with great weather today, and it's always great to see you out here. So you're going to be involved in the dedication a little later?
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna recognize those who have served, those who have made the sacrifice. We're gonna fly the flag and put it at half staff, and just make sure that everybody who has made this country what it is honored today, especially those who put their lives on the line so that we can enjoy a beautiful day like this today.
You're absolutely right. Very well said. So thank you for being out here, Jeremy.
You got it.
And we'll look for you in the ceremony. We'll wrap it up. We're going to have a couple more folks to talk with here in a few minutes. Thanks, Jeremy. Well, Judge Cindy Arvan is kind enough to take a moment to speak with us now, and we just spoke with Jeremy Moss. I thought he put it well as far as us honoring this day and the fallen heroes and so forth. But in your own words, what is the importance of Memorial Day and celebrating it here in Beverly Park mean to you?
Well, I think Memorial Day in Beverly Park has always been one of our biggest events of the whole year. Our community comes out in mass to honor our veterans, to honor the people who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defending our country. And we couldn't be here, and we couldn't have elections, and we couldn't do the things we do and celebrate the freedoms that we have were it not for that tremendous sacrifice that these veterans made for us. So it seems a very fitting way to honor our veterans, honor those who have served, and celebrate this wonderful community.
Right. And I think you'll agree that, as I mentioned to Jeremy, it's not a political event. We're not here with agendas. We're here honoring America and those who came before us to fight for this country, right?
Absolutely, and this has never been a political event. It's been a community event. You see, it's really a hometown kind of event with events for families, events for kids. We hear from some veterans. We honor veterans today, and it really is a very nice community event, really one of our best events of the entire year.
Yeah, I agree. And, in my advancing years, I've been taking to thanking veterans who wear the hats, and I never really did that before, but I guess the older I get, I realize how important their sacrifices meant to us. And as you stated so eloquently just now, that we would not be able to enjoy these freedoms without their efforts. So it's just great to see you out here.
It is my greatest pleasure to be here. I've been here every year. I was the chairperson of Parks and Rec for many years, so this was we put on this event every year, and I'm proud to be here today and proud to celebrate.
Right. It is kind of a labor of love for the committee. I mean, everybody really takes this to heart. So thank you for your service to our communities, and we'll wrap it up for right now. We're going to have some more folks to talk with in a few minutes. Great to see you, Judge.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hi there. I'm here at the park with Paul Kleppert, the main driving force behind putting together the memorial for our armed services here. Paul did a lot of work on it, and I want to fill us in on, 10 years ago when you started, 12 years ago?
Yeah, we we have this Memorial Day parade, and this is like the 40th anniversary of the parade this year. And about 10, 12 years ago, one of the members of council, we were here at the ceremony for raising the flag, and he kind of nudges me and says, there's no memorial here for, Memorial Day. And he kind of looked at me like, okay, I got it. Let's see what we can do. And we started a fund with the help of Independent Bank here in Beverly Hills. And we gathered donations from veterans, and a lot of the donations came from widows of armed service members. And we raised over $6,000. We raised that money in like 4 months. And we were able to get this made. There's a monument company in Detroit on 8 Mile Road, and they did it for us, and they delivered it. And the workers that work here for Beverly Hills Municipality, they came over here, they dug the hole, they poured a foundation, they got everything ready for it, and then they brought it here and they set it. And now we have a very, very distinctive memorial in honor of the men and women of the village of Beverly Hills who served in the armed forces of the United States of America. And one of the suggestions we had at the time was, hey, why not do it on both sides? So we did. So when you're walking into the park, you can see the monument, or if you're here around the flag, you can see the monument. And some people, if you look real close, you'll notice in the background where you've got the 5 different insignias of the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Coast Guard. In the background, they very carefully etched a flowing United States flag. So it's a beautiful monument. It's very appropriate. And doing our Memorial Day parade here, and Bob being the announcer for all these years and so forth, it's a pleasure to come and enjoy this.
It's a great looking monument. We'll get a shot of it later to show to our viewers, with those who haven't come here. But it's a great tribute to the residents of the Beverly Hills area, and we want to thank you very much, Paul, for everything you did.
And I'd like to thank all the people that contributed, who still come to the parade. We just noticed Mom bringing one of her little girls up here, and she was explaining the 5 different insignias that are on the monument. And that's what this is all about.
That's exactly what it's all about.
Yes.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, sir.
Good
all right.
seeing you again.
Take care.
Well, you run into some of the people you least expect to, and I have run into my cousin, Hugo Chapeau, here today in the park. Hugo's grandma is one of my favorite cousins, as well as her sister and brother. Grew up together back in the day. But Hugo is here celebrating Memorial Day with us, honoring our fallen troops, and he's a Cub Scout. Now, Hugo, I was a Cub Scout. My son was a Cub Scout, so you're following in the great family tradition. And you're a Weeblo now, right? Or are you not a Weeblo? A wee-wee?
Wolf.
He's a wolf, so he's still a Cub Scout. He's a wolf. All right, now, you were telling me earlier, what are some of the fun things you've done in scouting?
I've been camping, I've sold popcorn, and I've done a food drive.
That's important. We love the food drives because they're helping other people, right? And really, so is the popcorn sales, because the money raised from that goes back into scouting. And we help other people that way, which I think was one of the most important things about scouting, is the whole mission is to help other folks. So do you have anything else coming up for them?
We're sleeping at the zoo.
Okay.
And I think that's all.
Sleeping in the zoo, not in the cage with the animals, I hope.
No.
We hope not. Okay, well, it's been fun. And I'm glad you're out here, and it's great to see your mom and dad and your brother. Take care of his arm. He's got a bad wing there. It looks like he's got a cast on his arm. You didn't do that to him, did you?
No.
Okay, good. Thank heavens. Don't do anything dangerous. But Hugo, it's wonderful talking to you. Thank you for being a scout, and the people you're serving all appreciate your effort. And have a good time today. All right?
Thanks. Bye.
All right, there he is, Hugo Chapeau. We'll be back with another one in a few minutes.
And I'm here at the park with Molly Borgen. Yes, I said Borgen, my daughter. She's the chairman of the Parks and Rec Board and was one of the people that that put everything together today. And we want to thank Molly and her committee for everything they did. And Molly, give us a little insight on what you had to go through.
Well, definitely planning something like this takes a lot of weeks, a lot of months, and a lot of volunteers, and we are so thankful that we've got a great Parks and Rec board that really knows what they're doing, and we are even more thankful that we had people like our Grand Marshals to lead the way for us. 42 years ago they started this parade, and we really are just so happy that we can carry on the tradition, and thankful to bring this to the community. This is one of our best days to get everybody out here and just enjoying Beverly Park while remembering what today is for and honoring our soldiers.
Freedom isn't free. We have to continue to remind our young generation what the older generation went through. And when putting this together, Molly, we want to thank you. We got a great day for the weather here.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
mean,
I don't think you're going to get people to leave. It's supposed to be over at 2, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That's okay.
Molly, thanks for everything you do.
Yeah, and thank you for being our MC for how many years?
32 years.
32 years.
This is my swan song.
So proud of this guy.
Love you, Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
...2023 Village of Beverly Hills Memorial Ceremony. We're going to place a wreath next to our memorial that we bought years ago. I would like to introduce this afternoon, Cynthia Arvant will be your maestro. Thank you, Cynthia.
All right. Thanks, Matt. And thanks to Parks and Rec for launching this, which is it's a labor, and it's a labor of love. So thanks to all of our friends on the Parks and Rec Board for putting this together today. I'm Cindy Arvant. I'm a judge at the 46th District Court. We cover Beverly Hills, Bingham Farms, Franklin, Southfield, and Lathrop Village. It is my greatest pleasure to be here today in Beverly Park to preside over today's Memorial Day ceremony. Memorial Day is a time when Americans pause to remember the men and women who have given their lives in defense of our country. As part of today's commemoration ceremony, we will have thoughts on Memorial Day from Beverly Hills Village Council President John George, from our state senator Jeremy Moss, followed by a wreath-laying ceremony. At this time, I would like to begin by asking all veterans to indicate their presence by a show of hands. Can we see from our veterans today? Please honor them with a round of applause. Thank you for being here today, and more importantly, thank you for your service. Speaking on behalf of our honorary Grand Marshals, Sue Bush and Rose Ann Callahan, they were original members of the Village Women's Club of Beverly Hills Parade and Carnival Committee 42 years ago. Council President John George, if you'd like to come up and introduce them.
Thank you, and thank you for being here. I have some nice words that were handed to me that gives me some background to share about Sue Bush and Roseanne Callahan, and the fact that they've lived here for 47 years, and 42 years ago, in 1981 was the first year that they conceived this and brought it to life. And there's more background here, but it felt like they told better stories than I did. So I'm going to ask some questions. Can you Can you provide me with your favorite memories of getting this started in 1981? What was how did you get everyone to agree and get it going?
A lot of phone calls. Okay, a lot of phone calls. Judy Featherston started the parade, and we did the carnival.
and everything just fell into place. We enjoyed going and getting. We had carnival games. We had a dunk tank. We had to go downtown to pick out the carnival games, and then we had to get people to work on some of the food, the concessions, and it was enjoyable. It was fun, and you got to know a lot of people doing it.
What's a favorite memory?
Getting Judy Featherston in the dunk tank and pushing the thing and having her fall in it.
How about you?
Same here. We enjoyed it immensely, pushing Judy into the dunk tank.
Green water.
Yeah, the water wasn't very clean. And she was a good delegator, so we were like her little busy bees and ants, working for her.
We did everything.
Yep.
Nice. Did you think when you started this that it would be running 40 plus years later?
Sure. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's fun. Beverly Hills community. Yeah.
It's fun to see all the families enjoy themselves, and it seems to have really grown more and more every year. So that's great.
Well, thank you both. I hope the ride in the convertible was great.
Yeah,
no wheelies.
It was fun passing out candy. Throwing candy to the kids is the best.
It is. It's hard to argue with that. So we appreciate you both coming out and letting us know a little bit of the history of the event. And it is fun to be stewards of a thing you started that long ago. So we thank you for your contribution. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thanks, John. All right. Next, I would like to introduce our state Senator Jeremy Moss. So, Senator Moss, if you want to come on up. But before I tell you about our state Senator Jeremy Moss and introduce him, I would also like to introduce some of our other elected officials who are here today. We have our state rep, Natalie Price, who represents a portion of Beverly Hills. If you could give us a wave. And we also have Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, if you could give us a wave. Thank you for being here today. We really do appreciate you joining us. So it's my honor and pleasure to introduce State Senator Jeremy Moss. He holds the distinction of having been the youngest ever elected official on the Southfield City Council in the year 2011, and he has not let up on public service ever since. After City Council, he was elected to the Michigan House of Representatives, serving as the Democratic Caucus Whip, and then he became the Assistant Democratic Leader in his first term in the Michigan Senate. They don't even mention here that you were a graduate of Groves High School, which I think is important to note. They do note that Senator Moss earned his bachelor's degree in journalism from Michigan State University, go Green, where he participated in multiple student-led humanitarian aid missions nationally and across the globe. He lives right here in Southfield, and it's my honor and pleasure to introduce my friend, Jeremy Moss.
Thank you, Judge. I project, so we shouldn't have microphone problems. I'm very honored to be here in Beverly Hills yet again on a very important and meaningful, memorable Memorial Day ceremony. First, maybe the lay of the land. We have new districts here in Beverly Hills. So I did represent Beverly Hills in the State House for 4 years. In my first term in the Senate, Beverly Hills was not in the district, so I'm back, but only from Southfield Road heading west. From Southfield Road heading east, your senator is Mallory McMorrow, and in the State House, Southfield Road heading west, your state rep is Samantha Stekloff, and then on the east side is Representative Natalie Price, and then Rashida Tlaib is our congresswoman for the entire township. So those are your newest districts and who represents you. So I am back after 4 years of being elsewhere throughout Metro Detroit. But I will tell you, throughout all the communities that I've represented over the years, Beverly Hills is intentional and makes sure that we honor our veterans and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our continued freedom here on Memorial Day. and to be celebrating 40 years of honoring those who put their lives on the lines. There's something to be proud about here in Beverly Hills. So please give yourself a round of applause. We also honor this holiday in the state Senate. We just had a program in the Michigan Senate, in our Senate chambers. We invited folks from our district to recognize the holiday and heard from the lead of the Michigan National Guard, Major General Paul Rogers, who gave a keynote speak. I actually had the opportunity of flying with the Major General from Lansing to Washington, D.C., where members of the Michigan National Guard, the Congresswoman will remember, were stationed inside the Capitol. So there's a full scope of service in defense of our democracy. We think about these fights abroad, but also keeping domestic tranquility here. And here in the Michigan State Senate, we recognize those efforts of those who protect and defend our freedom. And we also support those who support our military personnel, the spouses, and the dependents. And we recently passed a piece of legislation that was supported with overwhelming bipartisan support that will make a huge difference in the lives of military families by allowing for more access and more increase to tuition assistance for those who are family members of Michigan National Guard members. We know the sacrifice that the families make, and we want to make it as easily accessible as possible for them to thrive as well here in the state of Michigan. And that bill was just recently signed, and it's going to make a huge difference for military families throughout the state. And we were very proud in a very nonpartisan and bipartisan way to usher that bill for its signature. So we're doing a lot to recognize those who are active service members, those who are veterans. And it is really an honor to join with the Beverly Hills community to recognize those who have laid down their lives so that we can enjoy our freedom here today and our right to congregate here in this public space. Again, Beverly Hills is a standout community in marking this holiday and making sure we remember all of the sacrifices that were made so that we can participate in a ceremony like this. So it is a pleasure to be back representing Beverly Hills and joining with my legislative colleagues for another meaningful ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Senator Moss. We're going to conclude this ceremony today with a wreath-laying ceremony with thanks to Boy Scout Troop 1024 and to bugler Ella Blank, who is a senior at Groves High School and a member of the Groves Marching Band. This wreath is dedicated to the memory of the men and women who have given their lives in defense of our country. This military monument stands in Beverly Park because of the vision, leadership, hard work, and generosity of our own Paul Kleppert. And I know I saw Paul here today. I'm not sure where he is. Oh, there he is. If we could give Paul a round of applause for taking care of this wonderful monument for us. Truly a labor of love. I'd like to invite Village Council President John George and Senator Moss up to place the wreath. All right, folks, if you could please remove your hats and place your hand over your heart. We'll turn it over to our scouts of Troop 1024.
Scout right hand salute. Bugler sound off.
Sincere thanks to Miss Ella Blank for playing taps at the ceremony. Beautiful job. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for honoring those who have served. Thank you for participating. Enjoy the day.